What's up YouTube? Welcome to the channel. This is our latest project. It's a Nissan Primera. We want to do a bit of motorsport in this car. Before we get into that though, we had to do a bit of work on it. So sit back and enjoy. I'll show you around. So my mate got this for 500 bucks. We're going to see if we can turn it into a little race car. So it's pretty basic, but everything's there. It's a 5-speed manual with SR20 DE, and it needs a clutch for the first job. So we'll get the MR2 out the garage and put it in there for a little bit. Now you might be thinking it just looks like a pretty boring basic family sedan, but they did race these cars back in the day and they're fairly successful, so we're basically just going to try and do a really cheap version of that. So here it is. Looks like it's in pretty good nick, which is cool. Can't see any rust underneath. Alright guys, so with the airbox and battery out the way, we have a bit of room to see what we're dealing with. It looks okay, it looks like we'll be able to get to the box. There's a few bolts in there that are going to be fun to get to. Warming up the motor. Gonna dump the oil in a minute. So we'll wait for that and then get the engine oil done. And that looks pretty dirty, so probably about due for a change. So I noticed the wiper arms were hitting the hood, and I'm gonna move it. Doesn't look great, so that might need some attention. And it's pretty dirty under here, so we'll get all that cleaned up. We've taken the hub all apart on this side, so this is looking good. There's the box in there. So we just need to get the other axle out now, and we'll pull the hub off as well because we need to change the wheel bearings at the same time. So we'll get into that. Oh, that was tight. There it goes. There's our hub. The wheel bearing in there to be replaced. I'm not going to do that. I don't have a press and I don't really want to. So we'll send that for someone else to deal with. There she is. So I've done everything under the car that needs to be pulled off, I'm pretty sure, and it looks like this is the last mount that we need to pull off, and then the box should be ready to just slip out. So a good idea guys when you're pulling the bell housing bolts is just chuck them in a bit of cardboard like this, and then you can see how they go back together because they're all different sizes. So we'll get this mount off. Alright guys, it's ready. It's loose. We just gotta slide it out now, so I'm gonna try and get it onto the jack. Of course, turns out there's one more bolt. So it should be ready to come out now. Lighter than a rear-wheel drive box. That's nice. Looks like the throw-up bearing's seen better days. That could be part of our issue. Yeah. And there's the clutch. So we'll be putting in a heavy duty just because it's going to see some abuse at the track. But there we go. Fresh gearbox out. So here we go. All out. And you can see it has seen better days, especially this clutch. This thing really was on its last legs. Let's see, it's right down to the pins here. So we'll get a new one of those in and we should be good to go. And here are our new parts. We have a resurfaced flywheel, a brand new clutch plate, which looks much nicer than our old one. Lots more material on there. We have a new pressure plate, new throw-up bearing, clutch alignment tool, and we also have these new wiper mounts. And if you compare to the old ones, they look much nicer. So let's check them out. Here's our throw-up bearing inside the gearbox, ready to go. Just greased up all the points up in here. The throw-up bearing itself, the input shaft. So, I need to fill up the gearbox with new oil. Unfortunately, the fill plug is just smaller than one of my 1/2-inch ratchets. So what I'm going to try is, I've got the socket wrench off my MR2 and I'm just going to grind down the end of it a bit. We started doing it there and see if I can get it to fit the fill plug. So here's the fill plug for the gearbox. This is where you fill the oil up. Hopefully my little modified wrench here will do the trick. Wow, that is crazy tight. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do about that. Got an idea. Heat. So let's heat this up a little. Basically, heat causes the metal to expand. So what you can do is you can wait for it to cool down, and once it's cooled down, it should free itself. There it goes. Yes. So for our next trick, we're going to use bread. So basically there's a bearing in here, and to pull it out you need to get something in behind it. So I haven't tried this myself before, but what people say is that you can shove a whole lot of bread in there, and as it expands it pushes the bearing out. So let's try this. There we go, yeah, look at that, the bread trick works. There's the bread. Okay, we have our lovely new bearings here. Just pick them up. So big thank you to Wire Brakes and North Shore who did these new bearings, and they also resurfaced the flywheel. So cheers guys. Beautiful. It's maybe been about 12 minutes for you guys, but for me this has been my little project for the last 3 weeks maybe. Let's see if it works. Weird noises. Yeah.
That flywheel.
Yeah, that's the seat shield. Okay, that's good. That's really good. I thought that was the gearbox. Okay. Yeah, shut her off. That's good. It works. Alright guys, so as you can see, the car's back together and she is running beautifully. We've got all the noises and stuff sorted out, we got a wheel alignment, there's still a little vibration in the front end, but we'll figure that out eventually. It's amazing, like after 3 or 4 weeks of hard work, waiting for parts, just getting everything, it's all sort of come together, and yeah, the car just feels like it's going to be a strong contender in whatever racing we end up doing with it, so I'm really happy. So here it is guys, all back together, driving well. I've done about a week's worth of driving in it and I'm pretty impressed. It's a really nicely built, very simple little car, which is cool. It should be perfect for the track. So we'll do a bit of a track shakedown, that'll be the next video. If you enjoyed this one, stick around for that. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.